Big news just rolled out from the Drafted Digital headquarters at Amazon KDP Alternative. Now, those of you that might be familiar with Amazon KDP, you often hear people saying like publish wide or exclusive. In most instances, they're saying, hey, do you use KDP Select or not? And in some instances, it really rewards and it takes care of people. And in other instances, it just gives people pennies on the dollar in order to actually distribute their book exclusively through Amazon's system. And if you happen to be one of those people that are really just trying to find an alternative, then I'm going to give you another good solid reason in today's big announcement coming out of the headquarters of Draft2 Digital. Now, if you're not familiar with Draft2 Digital, they are an aggregate publishing platform, meaning that they publish to your avenue, whatever avenue that it is on your behalf. So let's say, for instance, Drafted Digital can reach places like Apple, Kobo, let's see here, Barnes & Noble Press. There's so many other ones, but one of the biggest things that you cannot get anywhere else on especially Amazon KDP is library distribution. Now you're probably saying, oh, who uses libraries? Oh, millions upon millions of people still utilize libraries. And this is a big avenue I think a lot of authors have overlooked, thinking it's not possible. And so it is with great pleasure that I saw in today's inbox this big press release coming from Drafted Digital literally just seconds ago. So let's go on over to the screen share where I can share with you exactly what's going on. If you haven't seen it in your inbox, you'll see it pretty soon. Announcing expanded library distribution with Palace Marketplace. Now, already Drafted Digital has library distribution through Overdrive, which oddly enough, that is one of the apps I use is Libby to check out books in the library. Love Libby. It's fantastic. But we're not talking about Libby today. Baker and Taylor, Hoopla, another app I've used, and Biblioteca, as well as BorrowBox. Now we can go ahead and add Palace Marketplace to that one as well. Now, what's the significance of Palace Marketplace? Let's just bounce right on over here to the Palace, or the palaceproject.org. And this is where your library is a palace. The Palace Project is committed to building a digital future for libraries. So let's go a little further into this release here. What is Palace Marketplace? It is founded by the Digital Public Library of America, known as DPLA. Palace Marketplace is the only not-for-profit ebook marketplace for libraries. Palace Marketplace makes it easier for libraries to quickly build their collections of high-quality indie books. It must be working because over 400 libraries and library systems across the U.S. have already signed on, with thousands more expected to sign on the next couple of years. So getting 400 libraries, the distribution of that thing. And here's the beauty of it. You could literally go into your local library and ask them, hey, do you guys have the Palace app? And this is going to probably help you make an informed decision. You can probably be able to influence that in your local community. To me, that's really awesome. I think that is very powerful. So you're getting this put into your hands. Now, let's dig a little bit deeper, because you're probably saying, okay, where's the money, dude? I want to know where's the money. So let's go on over here, back into this email. What this means for you, you get access to more library readers in the Palace app. You earn 60% of your ebooks list price. You read that right. This is a significant increase over other library checkout systems. Now, the reason why they say checkout systems based on libraries is that with some of the library systems that we're distributing to currently will pay from a pool of money. It's something that's going to be subscription based, and you're just going to be getting a percentage. And sometimes when you're even distributing your library books, it's considerably less than what you would want to get. So getting 60% is a big victory. I know some of you go, well, Dale, I go get 70% on Amazon KDP. Yeah, that's great. But does KDP reach libraries? No, it doesn't. And I don't think it's going to happen in the foreseeable future. Call me crazy, but that is just a fact. I just don't think they're going to be reaching out to libraries right anytime soon. So this is really neat to see this. And what it does is when the library purchases your ebook, let's say it purchases one license, that specific license is almost like having a physical book. So anytime a patron checks out that book inside the library, All right, it'll be held. That's it. That one is taken, and then everybody else has got to wait for it until that person's done and returns it back there. Well, in the event of 2, 3, or 4 copies and such, it's going to be, based on how many copies that they buy from you, that there's almost like a perpetual license for them to check that out. So any rate, let's move a little further forward here. An easier way for readers to find your books. Thanks to the Palace app for iOS and Android, readers have a better chance of finding titles that they desire because the app unites a library's collections from different library aggregators into a single interface. Readers no longer have to search through multiple library apps to find a single desired title. Thank you very much, because that's one of the things that drives me crazy on some of these other apps is I want a book, but it's not available through this particular app. What gives? I want it. So having Palace come out here, I'm not just excited as an author, I'm excited as a reader, because now I'm really invested in this. And here's where the biggest news comes, because essentially what this means for libraries is good news for them too. The addition of approximately 500,000 indie published titles from Drafted Digital and Smashwords. All right, so if you're already utilizing Drafted Digital and Smashwords, you should probably be getting queued up the next time that you log into your account. I have yet to do that myself, but please go on in there and make sure that you're getting yourself opted in, or you don't have to opt in at all. For some reason you say, Dale, I don't want my stuff in library systems. I completely understand, but I think that you're greatly inhibiting the amount of readers that you can reach by avoiding an avenue such as this. Libraries are amazing, and it's a great tool, and I think it's one of the best ways to get yourself out there, especially if you're the person who's been stuck on KDP Select, scratching your head, wondering, I'm just getting peanuts. Isn't there more to the stuff out here? Good news. Places like Drafted Digital have that all handled for you. By the way, you can go through my referral link at dalelinks.com/D2D and get yourself set up with an account today. It's 100% free to use. And by the way, with how they do this whole system, my gosh, it's so cool. It's so flexible. There's so many different avenues that you can select and deselect if you wanted to. You're in 100% complete control. And really all Drafted Digital ever asks is 15% as a revenue share, which is not bad. For aggregate publishing, I think that is exemplary. So, all right, let's dig further forward, because there's more to this, and there are a couple of articles too as well that I was able to dig up. So, Palace Marketplace is developing themed recommended buy lists of indie ebooks curated by DPLA's Curation Corps of Librarians. These themed collections make it easy for libraries to quickly develop large collections of indie titles. If you have not been in touch with one of your local libraries, now is probably one of the best times to do it, especially if you end up getting opted into something like this. Because if you get on the good side of librarian and you're able to really get them invested in something like the Palace app, chances are very likely you could probably get them to stock your ebook in that local library, because who doesn't want to support a local indie author? I mean, that's awesome to be able to say, this person is from my town. I know that it's really cool whenever I get to see other indie authors inside the Columbus area. By the way, big shout out to Joseph Carroll, one of the locals here as well. But all right, next item says, titles will be available with a perpetual, as I'd mentioned, one at a time license, usually at less than $10 a title. More than 50,000 ebooks, including many popular series starters, are priced at free. How do you add it? Next time you go into your D2D account, just accept. That's all you really have to do. So yeah, that information, check your email inboxes. If you're not set up with a Drafted Digital account, again, go over to dalelinks.com/D2D. There's a link inside the description here, and as well as inside the pinned comments over on the main channel and podcast channel. So let's go a little further forward. You can see that the DPLA actually announced it as well today, the Digital Public Library of America, who is responsible for the Palace app. It's to offer more than 200,000 new titles by independent authors. So this is really, really cool. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave a link to some of this stuff over on my main YouTube channel. Or you can just simply look up DPLA, Palace Marketplace. You can be able to find that as well. And Publishers Weekly also put out a piece, very well put together, and it pretty much summarized what I just told all of you guys. Let's go a little further down, though. This is pretty interesting. If you see some of the stats that they have here, they talk, of course, about Drafted Digital acquiring Smashwords last year in February. It's been 1 year. By the way, happy anniversary, guys. Announced in June 2021 with $5 million in funding from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Palace Project is a joint venture between the Digital Public Library of America and Lyrasis to establish library-centric digital distribution platform. It builds on an existing collaboration between the two entities using an open source code designed and developed by Library Simplified for its Simply app. Wow, this is absolutely huge. If you can't tell my excitement for something like this, the last announcement of Drafted Digital acquiring Smashwords Store was pretty good. I thought that was fantastic. But then they were like, oh, hold my beer, Dale. They went ahead and put it out. They said, let's go ahead and let's get some of the biggest distribution there is out there. And I'm going to tell you that just knowing the folks over at Drafted Digital, they're run by indie authors for indie authors. This is not something that they take lightly. In fact, they are very, very calculated about how they curate the specific distribution avenues that they acquire. They don't just want any old, ham and egg or jabroni type website that's like, yeah, we sell ebooks, we'll give you 80%. Drafted Digital's like, nah, I'm good. They're only going to invest their time into something that's going to be worthwhile, not for Drafted Digital so much as the indie author community. Why? Because it serves their best interests. Because they're all indie authors just like us. And this is why I get so passionate about Drafted Digital. For those of you that are really upset about anything that might be going on with Amazon KDP, you're scared about account terminations or suspensions, now is the good time to just get your eggs out of that one basket and spread out. Get yourself over into library systems, because this could be a real game changer. In the event you find it doesn't work, hey, no skin off my back. You can always just go ahead and just delist it and go back to the safety of KDP Select. But I encourage you, I challenge you. If you are right now frustrated with the distribution that you're getting through KDP and what you're getting with KDP Select, now is a great time to go to Drafted Digital. Again, you got my referral link, or you can even just go to drafteddigital.com. Don't matter to me. DaleLinks.com/D2D and get yourself set up with an account immediately today. And hopefully you find it very helpful. If you get lost on any particular point, reach out to the support team. Their support team is fantastic. Please be patient with them. They don't have robots or systems that, are automatic for them. It's literally a human on the other side of things. So make sure you be cool to them. All right. And tell them Dale sent you as well. They always love hearing from me, I'm sure. Okay. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go over into the live comments. And if you've got questions, particularly about this news and this announcement, please fire away. If there's other questions outside of the realm of those things, please forgive me. I'm probably going to save that to a little bit later. So, all right. Draft beer would be a theme. There we go. Oh, by the way, where are you watching from? I am streaming out to YouTube on 2 channels, streaming it out to Facebook on 2 channels. Went over to Twitter. I went over to Twitch. I'd love to hear from each and every single one of you. Where are you watching from? I see a lot of people over on YouTube. Fantastic. You had a very quick response from D to D. That is great news to hear. In fact, let's go ahead and pop this up here. So there we go. Had a very quick response. By the way, big shout out to Mel. Appreciate you joining us here. And let me know where you guys are watching from. Again, whatever channel that might be, as well as the location in the world. I'm always curious. Lately, I've been getting a very big, strong following in India as well as Nigeria. Big shout out to those 2 areas. I really appreciate you. Not that I don't appreciate everybody else, but it's really cool to see a new region start to embrace this whole brand here with Self-Publishing with Dale. And I appreciate each and every single one of you. If you're not familiar, by the way, welcome. Glad to have you here. If somebody happened to invite you and you had no context or whatever, my name is Dale. I'm a self-published author, and I like to obsess and talk about self-publishing and writing on a regular basis. If you want to have up-to-date news and information, as well as some insights into the world of self-publishing, make sure that you do subscribe to me over on YouTube. You can head on over to DaleLinks.com/YouTube or DaleLinks.com/YouTube podcast. Either one of those work. All right, so we see someone's from rural Texas. There we go. Stephanie, great to see you. Should we wait a few days? Also watching from Texas. Should we? Yeah, I get you. I got where you're going, JM. Yes. Definitely wait a few days. Totally joking, folks. Don't wait a few days. If you need that time to sit there and think about it and ponder it, by all means, go ahead. But understand not a lot of people are going to share the same enthusiasm that I do, but I'm a huge library nerd. I love libraries. And in fact, the more that I've obsessively been reading over the past year, the more I've fell in love again with my local library. Because guess what? It saves me money. It saves me time doing it from an app. And now that they've got an app that I can probably reach more books that I really want to get my hands on, this is a real big game changer. So really, really awesome. Tuned in from Nashville, my friend. Great to see you, Jason Jones. Oh, yes. Literary Jones himself. It's Jones Literary, but I'm just going to call you Literary Jones. It's your new wrestling name. You're welcome, buddy. Watching from Hershey, Pennsylvania, chocolate capital of the world. Oh, of course it is. Tennessee and YouTube. Nice. Scotland. There we go. Let's see here. I'm going to come on over to the other channel. K9 Hannibal is from Texas here. Great to see you. Kyra Lockwood says, happy Thirsty Thursday. Nice. Hopefully you brought some drinks. I have a children's book I'm trying to publish. It's already completed, but KDP doesn't have the page size I need. Ooh, interesting. I would love to be on Hoopla. Susan, Drafted Digital, head on over there. Hoopla is definitely a great app. I know my children's books are available through Hoopla. Last I saw, the children's books on audiobook specifically. But I did that through Findaway Voices, though. Heading to Key West, I got the email earlier, passing through Melbourne, Florida. Nice. Wow, you're almost home, if you will. YouTube, Arizona. All right, fire away any kind of questions you guys and gals might have. Boring, Pennsylvania, Jan Marie shouting out from Twitch. Great to see you guys. I'm sorry I can't highlight the Twitch comments. R.A. Morley followed you. Oh, okay. You followed somebody else, not me. I think you're probably already following me. Taria, it's great to see you. If I don't highlight your comments, I apologize. I can only cover the stuff on YouTube. Utah for Angels and Ashes. Man, there is a lot of people in here. I want to thank you guys. If you've got questions, now is a good time to hit me up for sure, whatever that might be. Bowling Green, Ohio, of course, Susan, coming there for my alma mater right there. Although I never really graduated, so do I count as an alma mater? Like, no, it doesn't. I was a dropout. I'm watching from Massachusetts on YouTube. Great to see you, Galen. Always great to see you, buddy. I'm new to the idea of publishing in more than one place, so I can upload my manuscripts to both KDP and D2D. I'm not in Select or KU yet either. Ooh, this is a great question. All right. This is not me just stalling for time or anything else like that. You know, you always hear guests to say, that's a great question. Usually they're just trying to think of it. This is legitimately a great question because a lot of people assume that by distributing through Kindle Direct Publishing that you must remain exclusive to them, whether it be ebook, paperback, or hardcover. But that's not true. The only thing that they ask for exclusivity on is for KDP Select. So if you enroll one given ebook into the KDP Select program, then you must remain exclusive for the entirety of the 90-day cycle that you currently are opted in. If you want to opt out, you got to go ahead and opt out of something like that. But in instances like Susan, she actually isn't in there already, so she can automatically go to D2D. She can take the same manuscript that she'd uploaded over through KDP and put it on over to Drafted Digital. The nice thing is, and this is one of the chef's kiss features that Drafted Digital has, it's their interior template. If you are like me, you don't like having to learn new systems, learn about how to format your interiors, especially an ebook, just use Drafted Digital. In fact, they even said, I had interviewed one of the reps over there, good friend of mine, Kevin Tomlinson. I said, is it cool if I just go in and use your platform to format my ebook, but not publish there? And he's like, yeah, totally fine. And then when you're ready to do it, just come on over. So literally, if you want any kind of great formatting software, by the way, it's 100% automated. So essentially, you've got to come with a manuscript essentially ready, and they actually give you some tips on how to best leverage that. But they have dozens upon dozens upon dozens of different templates that you can utilize on their platform. So glad you asked that. So Susan, yes, you can distribute to both of those areas. That was a long-winded question or answer there. Matthew Creek, USA, good to see you there, buddy. I meant KU. Maybe I missed your question. Sorry. Do you think D2D is interesting for books in French language? Ooh, I would think so, but you may want to check with support first to make sure that they support the language. I think they do. Why don't we just do just a real quick Google search, because, you know, we can learn together. So draft to digital languages. And by the way, would you be interested in having a couple of the reps from Draft to Digital, most importantly, Mark Coker, who is the founder of Smashwords, to come on for a video interview on this channel? If you do me a favor. I want you to blow up the chat with a bunch of yeses. Just yes, yes, yes. If you don't want to, just don't say a word. All right. So if you want to have that interview, you want to hear right directly from the horse's mouth, we can get Draft to Digital on here in the next day to the next week and get a little bit more of a deeper dive. So let's see here. Draft to Digital languages. I am going to go dive a little bit deeper here. I know you guys can't see any of this stuff here. Give me just a second. We're going in here. Language. Okay, unfortunately, I just don't see anything off a quick Google search here on this one, and maybe Draft to Digital will pop in here and weigh in on that. But I'm certain that there is some type of support for that. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry I'm late. Christine Gorley, we're glad to see you. You know what? We're just going to pop you up here on the chat. There we go. Sorry, did I call you out? You know, we're just going to switch it uncomfortably right on over to Mojo Seedlack. Mojo, it's great to see you. Thank you. Yes. Port Alberni of Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. Great to see you. All right, I'm gonna try to keep up with the Twitch chat. Steven, Sarah, what's going on, buddy? Dale has adorable children's books about a monkey named Gus. I'll go to YouTube. Good. Glad to see you coming on over here. What are your thoughts on animated covers? You know, I don't know too much about animated covers at this point. It would beyond what I've just seen. I know Dean Koontz has it, but he is an Amazon signed author, so he probably gets a feature nobody else gets. It would be really cool to see that start to roll out into more avenues, and especially if it gets supported through e-readers and such. But yeah, I love that. That's a great question there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how animated covers kind of come about. And my apologies if I miss any of your questions. Do me a favor, put a Q right next to your question and fire it off if I've already missed it. I can't comment on my TV, LOL. Kim, what are you doing? Just shout it. Shout it really loud. Make sure you shout it in caps as well. Fine with me. We got a yes, yes, yes. Mark Coker is just an absolute sweetheart, and you don't have to twist my arm. They had already pretty much, I can reach out and get a couple of them, and I know Mark was one of them that seemed to be volunteered, so we'll see if we can do that. CLB Poetry. Now, I think I remember. It's Chris, right? I emailed you back, buddy, so make sure you check your email inbox, because you want the sticker, but I don't have your address, buddy. I can't send it anywhere. It doesn't work for sending it to your email. What's the expected ROI for D to D compared to KDP's ROI? You know, Angels and Ashes, that is such a tough one to say because experiences are going to vary. Some people have had great success going to Draft to Digital. Other people, not so much. But what I would say is, since it is kind of a personal preference, what I would say is just test it out. If you have, like, say, one book over on KDP Select, it's not doing really well. Test it out for 90 days off the platform and measure it 90 days on the platform to off the platform. And I think you can make your own informed decision based on that deformed decision. Good Lord. Come on, Dale, slow down. I didn't have any caffeine today, by the way, guys. Got to head out, Dale. Exciting news, though. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, Galen. I appreciate it. All right, so here we go. I never distributed my second paperback outside KDP. When I went in after 8 months to select extended, it wouldn't let me. Any idea why? Ooh, man. I'm thinking what you're saying is the KDP expanded distribution. You may need to get a hold of support on KDP on that one. And by the way, folks, support is super great over on the KDP platform. If you go down to contact us, try to select the phone option. The phone option has always been the best option. And I think it might be only available on weekdays. I could be wrong on that one. Yeah. And speaking of, the KDP just reached out to me yesterday and they're wanting to have a little chat. So I'm looking forward to having that chat with them. Perfect timing for my new sci-fi novel. Nice. So glad to hear that. Definitely checking out D to D. Nice. London, UK. Love your content. Thanks so much. I appreciate that there, Sean Russell. D to D offers free ISBNs for ebook. I'm not sure for print. I believe so. I believe they have a free assigned ISBN for that one. I believe so. Let's take a look here. So Drafted Digital. I'm just going to do a quick search here. ISBN. All right. And yes, you can get a free ISBN. Yep. So I just confirmed it. It is on their FAQs. So if you go to drafteddigital.com/FAQ, you'll be able to get that information there. So yes, if we just flash over here, D2D can supply you with a free ISBN, or you can use one you have purchased in advance. Your ISBN must be unique to your ebook or your D2D print version of your book, meaning that you cannot reuse an ISBN that has been used on another version of your book. So good point there. I appreciate you going ahead and highlighting that there, Mel. Appreciate it. Oh, here we go. I see another question. And if I miss yours, please forgive me. Like, the chat's blowing up right now. We got a lot of people watching. And if you haven't weighed in yet, let me know. Would you like me to interview a couple of people from Drafted Digital? They are eager to do it. I just want to make sure you guys would be up for it. How many print paperback distribution locations does D2D support? So Epic Spire, you get Amazon for distribution, and you get Ingram for distribution. So meaning that the same Ingram content group that distributes for expanded distribution and for Ingram Spark is done through Drafted Digital. Now, their print is still available in beta, and they're just slowly rolling out some stuff, because more recently they had to kind of adjust some pricing overseas in a couple of regions, had to increase it, but it's just it's inevitable. Inflation happens. But nonetheless, you get those two main avenues. Now, I've yet to actually set up a title for a print book on their platform. It is for paperback only, and they are limited in the number of trim sizes. If you don't have access in your dashboard, about a year ago, when I interviewed the CEO, Chris Austin, as well as the founder of Smashwords, Mark Coker, they were able to elaborate on that a little bit more. And Chris said pretty much like, hey, you're going to eventually get print available inside your dashboard, but if you want it now, just contact support and they'll see what they can do. So if you happen to have Drafted Digital, you don't have print beta just yet, just request it through support. Support's fantastic. Remember, folks, you're not dealing with robots over there. There are human beings on the other side of things, so make sure that you're respectful and super cool to them, especially if you say, hey, Dale sent me on over here. I don't want you going over and being a jerk to them. So all right, not that Epic Spire would ever be a jerk. Sorry, I had your name still on the screen and I just realized I said that. Someone's going to probably think like, man. Steven Serrell, do you ever just go ooh-ah like Roman Reigns? No, I don't, man. No, no. By the way, got to bring this one down here. Big shout out to Steven Serrell here. He sent me his plush toy here from his book. By the way, go ahead and shout out your book inside the comments there, buddy. And I'll share that. Please, no link, but just share which name of your book and your author name as well, and I'll share that on screen here. Steven's always been such a huge supporter here of this channel. Thanks, Dale. Robert Cheat, you got it. All right, so Stephanie Del Porto says, do you know anything about Patio Books or Scribble? I think that's the right name. D2D sounds like a great alternative. I don't know about Scribble. I've heard of Scribd. Scribd is another distribution avenue, I believe, going through Drafted Digital. So, but beyond just that, and not really, I get some sales from them from time to time. Patio Books, I don't know. Yeah, I've never heard of them before. They might be distribution. I'm thinking it sounds almost like an audio book distribution platform. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm not familiar with Patio Books at all. All right, let's see here. Alexi Green, because they say my book is print on demand and can't put in the store unless I get rid of off there. Ooh, okay. Sorry, my stuff jumped forward here, folks. And if you got questions, again, put a Q at the front of your question there, and I'll try to track you down. Do you think D2D will ever offer hard covers? I would imagine so, but I don't know if it's on their roadmap at this point. They haven't given me any kind of clues to that. I think right now they're just trying to tweak and perfect what they have for the paperbacks right now, because I'm sure it's a lot for them to have to manage. They're not a gigantic team. We're not dealing with a company with thousands of employees, at least not to my understanding, unless it changed overnight. It's a smaller company. So when they go to expand, this is why it's so huge. When they go to expand or offer something new, they're very calculated about it. They're very, very deliberate. And so I'm sure they've been working on this library distribution for a while. So will they offer hardback? We'll see. I think it's going to be up to them to answer that. D2D is adding print. D2D already has print. To be clear, by the way, this was a couple of questions that was asked in the previous broadcast regarding Drafted Digital and Smashwords. Someone had asked, let me give these 3 ones here and I'll come back to the chat here. Someone had previously asked, if my account was terminated on KDP, can I set up an account with D2D? Yes, you can. But I just want to say that if you did get your KDP account shut down for nefarious reasons, don't go. They don't want you. They don't want anything to do with you. But if for some reason it was an egregious error and for whatever reason KDP won't let you back in, you're going to need to start from scratch when you go to Drafted Digital, because Drafted Digital does partner with Amazon. So they're going to be able to vet any of the books that are uploaded to their platform. So if you ended up taking, let's say, a book that was previously published in a terminated account, then chances are likely when you upload that same book over to their platform, they're going to probably have some bells and whistles going off going, yeah, this person's blackballed on Amazon, and they will terminate you. There's a zero tolerance policy because they take so much time and energy and effort in building some of these relationships that they have with some of these platforms. And so if you've done wrong by Amazon KDP, then that just means to Drafted Digital, like, hey, we can't touch this. Sorry, for whatever reason they, terminated you or suspended you is none of Drafted Digital's business. All they want to worry about is being able to maintain a healthy relationship with Amazon KDP, so that way people can continue to leverage that platform to distribute through Drafted Digital. So yeah, some people have asked us. The next one is going to be, does D2D publish no content books or low content books? No, they don't. It's strictly fiction and nonfiction. But I would really recommend those of you that are in the low content book publishing space, you may want to start to consider about spreading out, because one of the things I've noticed about the whole low content book publishing space is it's getting really crowded. It is getting very, very crowded. And if you're finding that you're not getting as much success through low content book publishing, then maybe consider going into fiction and nonfiction. And you don't have to be the greatest author in the world. Just take the first step towards the direction. Everything from, you can do short reads, you could do a book on poetry. Heck, you can do a nonfiction book about how to write your book. Whatever that might be, you just go ahead and go for that. So yeah, know that if you're a low content book publisher, D2D is not the platform for you, but definitely consider them for fiction and nonfiction distribution. And last but not least is, what is the royalty structure? Typically people will ask, and it's about roughly 15% revenue share. And keeping in mind, Drafted Digital acts as a middleman, meaning that they distribute to the other platforms on your behalf. So they're going to get a percentage of any of the sales coming through. If you don't get any sales, guess what they get? Big nothing, 0%. So in order for them to actually win, you have to be winning. And I think that's actually a pretty darn good system there for 15%, considering that, it's considerably lower in other platforms and such. So yeah, I've always been a fan of Drafted Digital, big fan of Smashwords. And since Drafted Digital owns them now, there we are. All right, I'm going to try to hit all the questions again. Coming up, looking for the queue. So we can get our print books into the Barnes & Noble stores using D2D. Yes, since Ingram Content Group distributes to them. Now, keep in mind that for things like Ingram, when they distribute out to those 40,000 different avenues, the platform is not required to put your book on their platform, okay? So if for some reason they think it's not something that they want, they probably won't do it. So that's why from time to time, if you have like a good handful of books in your backlog, you might find some, let's say over on Barnes & Noble by way of Ingram Content Group, and the other ones you don't. It will happen from time to time. For the most part though, if you're using Ingram, you will get on over to those avenues. I don't know what the deal is with those little discrepancies. You'll have to reach out to Ingram to find out that information, or reach out to Drafted Digital. They might actually be able to put it a little bit more eloquently than I have. All right, let's see if we got some more questions here. And I'm going to try to peek into the other avenues wherever you be watching from, and let me know. Dale loves to say nefarious. Yes, it is one of my favorite words, next to egregious. Okay, R.A. Morley said, could I get a shout out of my first book published through D2D, Let There Be Fire, an adult fantasy adventure? R.A. Morley, you just got your shout out. So folks, make sure you go check out R.A. Morley's Let There Be Fire, an adult fantasy adventure. And oh, by the way, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do it. Since we're this far in the broadcast, you guys got all the information that you needed. I definitely love what we're doing here. Just keep dropping the questions if you have them, and I'm going to disconnect here pretty soon. What books are you promoting currently right now? Don't drop any links. I just want you to tell me what's the name of your book, what's the name of your author name, and what's the name of your author name? I do this often. And where can people find it? And also the niche. So if it's XYZ by Joe Schmo, available over on Amazon, it's adult fantasy. That'd be fantastic. Give it a shout out. And I want to go ahead and showcase one person before we go ahead and call it a day here. And I'll pick somebody randomly, by the way. Sean Russell said The Jesus Boy by Sean Elliott Russell. There you go, buddy. I got you a shout out on that one. Dale, my banana's on fire and exploding. How can other viewers get a fiery exploding banana sticker? I give away the free stickers to, typically I'll do like a live giveaway, maybe not today, but I also give it to anybody that is a tier 3 channel sponsor over on YouTube. And if you want to become a channel member over on YouTube, go visit my YouTube channels over on dalelinks.com/YouTube or dalelinks.com/YouTube podcast. You hit the join button anywhere you might see that, or hit a description and it'll say channel memberships. Click on that. I walk you through the whole thing. I'm not going to take your credit card or anything else like that. YouTube processes the payments themselves, but it's at the top tier. It's about $10 per month, but you get a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. And I hand mail you these stickers for every milestone that you cross. So I think this milestone might be 6 months. I think it might be 6 months. Could be longer. Ooh, here we go. Sacrificial Lamb Club. Ooh, hang on. I got to shut off the other one here. Sacrificial Lamb Club. It's not released yet. Kim McCormack. Kim, it's good to see you. Romancing the Billionaire under Rose M. Cooper on KDP Select. There we go. Dust on the Altar by Michelle Winkler. Available everywhere. MV McKenzie. Oh my gosh. Someone stop the presses. It's great to see MV McKenzie show up for a live broadcast. I'm so glad that you were able to make it. I know sometimes our broadcasts at night, just a little too late for you since it's like really early in the morning over your time. But Grieving in Blood, it's a crime fiction available from Later Press. Ooh, big shout out to Later Press. I'm currently working on A Murder in Benidorm and My Heartless Valentine and 37 more books in a holiday mystery series. Good luck on that. Working on my third book in the Talon in the Trees series, a young adult portal fantasy and Caribbean folklore retelling. Author name Stephanie Dos Santos. Available wide. There we go. Good to hear that one there, Hannibal. I said Canine Cannibal. I was getting all tied up. How many of you guys are considering going over to Drafted Digital or have gone to Drafted Digital? If you have, what are the results that you've seen so far? Are you happy? Are you unhappy? Is there a specific thing that you have enjoyed about the distribution? And are you excited about the library distribution? I know I am. I'm really worried about a review on Amazon that's bogus. Use a previous reviewer's content. If I flag it with Amazon, will they cause me problems? I don't know. I mean, you could try to reach out to the review team, but they typically, it's usually like, it's like talking to a brick wall. Give it a shot. I mean, I don't think they're going to be like, we're going to ban your account. Nothing like that. I don't think they will. Considering that the review team is completely separate from the KDP team, I think you should probably be all right. Infinity Virus by Rhea Hendrickson on Kindle Vella. There we go. Some of my Kindle Vella folks. Drop your Kindle Vellas in here, folks. And hey, go support Kindle Vella authors because there are a ton of them that have the first 3 episodes, 100% free. You don't have to pay anything. It's free. Just go over, open it up and browse around Kindle Vella. Love me some Kindle Vella. My writing coach, Jeannie DeVita, aka Callie Chase, just released a new steamy erotica romance one. And I got about 6 or 7 paragraphs in, and I'm like, whoa, this is really hot. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's not my reading style, but she's such a fantastic author that honestly, the success that she's getting over on the Kindle Vella platform is well-deserved, much deserved. Shout out to you, Jeannie. Miss you. Let's see here. I went to D2D in May. I love it. See, look, started on D2D, but not yet wide. Will be later this year. There we go. SD Houston. What's going on, Shannon? Great to see you there. All right, I'm going to come on over here to the other channel, Permafrost and Electrified Novella by J.M. Irving. By the way, J.M. just did an unboxing of his book recently and just tickled to death. Dude, don't make me cry like that. Seriously, I'm not crying. You're crying. That's fantastic. You never lose that love. R.B. Worley, what is going on, my buddy? It's good to see you, buddy. The Winter of Souls by R.B. Worley, releasing tomorrow. It will be available on Amazon, folks. This is a former guest here of the channel on YouTube. I actually went through and we did a full overhaul of all of his covers, and he's getting ready to release one of those here tomorrow. So congrats, buddy. I'm very proud of you. Silver M1Y said, I have 2 poetry books I published on Amazon last year, Heaven, Hell, On Earth We Dwell, and Heaven Over Hell by Carrie Trudell. There you go. Or is it Carrie Trudell? Feels like it almost rhymes with that choice of words. I'm going to try to get everybody I can here. We're going to go through some of these ones here. Solar Panels by John Nelson. Good one there, John. Great to see a nonfiction author here. Oh, speaking of nonfiction authors, folks, make sure you go pick up 100 live streaming and digital media predictions, volume 3 by Ross Brand. And if you haven't gotten them already, you can pick up all 3 volumes. I actually wrote the foreword on book 2, and on book 3, the most recent one, I got the quote at the very top there. Let's see if we can just cover up my face. Come on, camera. There we go. Look at that. Ross Brand is the GOAT of live streaming. I stand by that comment. You know, honestly, there's times when I watch people on live streaming and I just cringe to death. And if you're watching me and you're cringing as I'm, doing it, that's for good reason, because I look over to people that are just so fantastic in the world of live broadcasting. And Ross Brand is he is the epitome of great live streaming. And if you ever want to see a good, clean podcast and live broadcast recording, Ross is the person to watch. Really, really good. His stuff is just second to none. I'm a little bit biased, though. Ross is a good friend of mine. So it will be available everywhere on Apple Books, Rakuten Kobo, and Scribd. Good to hear. Prince of the Werebears on Kindle Vella. Someone stop the press. Christine Alaska. I don't... Take my stickers. Take my stickers. Christina, you officially get all of my stickers. All of them. I want you to reach out to me, Dale at selfpublishingwithdale.com. Shoot me your address. I will personally send those in the mail today. I have been waiting for you for the last 7 years. Good Lord, 7 years coming up on April. They've been doing YouTube, and I've been using the genre and the over and over. I always say, whenever I can't think of something, I say werebear shapeshifter romance. Somebody finally stepped up and finally claimed the role. So Christina, you are my hero. I want to send these stickers to you. And also, I'm just thinking I'm going to go over and buy your book right now, just because that's just amazing. We're going to put it up on my bookshelf. Poetic Poetry, a short collection of poems by Brittany Benko. Brittany, what's going on? Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and Walmart. There you go. Feed the Monster by Ron Ward. Ron, I've been meaning to try to get on your book. I keep seeing it inside my ebook in my catalog, but I just haven't had the opportunity. Heartstrings by Robert Plant, available on KDP tomorrow. Family drama with a little romance sprinkled in there. Thanks for the shout out. You got it, Robert, for sure. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. I'm sorry. Later Press, I know them. Nate, you slay me. Folks, make sure you go over, check out Later Press is another alternative as well. Laterpress.com. Nice thing is, if you make any sales through Later Press, you get 100% of the earnings. So, but out of respect to Drafted Digital, I'm sorry, we're talking about Drafted Digital today. So, yes, that is true. That is true. You helped so much with the cover. Hey, it was my pleasure, man. All right, I'm going to do a couple more here, and if you haven't had your shout out yet, my apologies, but we're going to do something like this again every Monday on the podcast channel. You can subscribe to me over at dalelinks.com/YouTube podcast every Monday at 6:15 p.m. You join me 6:15 p.m. Monday nights. That's Eastern Daytime. For those of you out there, that's Greenwich Mean Time -5. So I'm here in Columbus, Ohio, if that helps you out. You can always just figure it out from there. But we will be going live every Monday night doing the podcast recording, and I'm going to be doing something like this where I'm going to showcase everybody's things. I just didn't anticipate that there was going to be, nearly 100 people tuning in today. So thank you so much. And if you happen to be tuning in from like Facebook and Twitch and Instagram and such, my apologies. I didn't get the pop-up chat put up, so I'm not trying to ignore you. Ooh, here we go. I'm going to give you guys one here, and let me make sure I shut this one down. I didn't even shout that out. Leg of Jane and Bloodlines by Jimmy Parento. I think I pronounced your name right, Jimmy. So both parts of the Welcome to Satanville series. Sounds like it's right up my alley. All right, I see another one over here over on Facebook, and this is from Paul Bogey, author. It says, Heroin to Hero is the title of my book. All profits go to homelessness in Scotland. 14,500 pounds raised so far. Paul, absolutely. You know what? This is typically what I end up saving for the live broadcasts on Monday nights, but we're going to do it here anyways. Paul, let's go over and pull up your book right now. So, Heroin to Hero, and I'm assuming it's Paul Bogey, but we're gonna find out here in just a second here. There we go. I believe this is you right here. So folks, here it is, Heroin to Hero by Paul Bogey. Make sure you go check it out. It is available on Amazon, so pick it on up. You hear it right from Paul. He says that all profits goes to homelessness in Scotland, has already raised 14,500 pounds. Kudos to you, buddy. That is really cool. 340 ratings. Woo! My dude, you are crushing it right now. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. You should be very proud of yourself. I'm not even joking on that one. Midnight for now. Yes. Werebear. Yes, we finally got it. If not for the news, I come for the energy. Dale's on fire. Yes, I am drenched in sweat right now, folks. And by the way, it's cold out in Ohio, so that just tells you how excited I am. Thank you. Vela has me writing as a full-time job now. Love it. Amanda, that's so cool to hear. I think a lot of people have confused some of my rants about Kendall Vela as being like anti-Vela. I like Vela. I love Vela. I love reading as a Vela author. I'm just disappointed in the recommendation system. I understand romance and erotica are always going to outsell horror genre, sci-fi, and all those type of things. I totally understand. But until their recommendations engine can kind of get fixed, I'm a little bit miffed, not only as a reader, but as an author. I feel like it's let me down. But they had the new comments feature roll out, and I think that's kind of cool. That's really neat. And I don't know if that hit all the accounts yet, but getting comments put in builds more of a sense of community. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those different avenues that I'm at requires some type of engagement. And now having the ability to engage on my publication means the world. So I don't dislike Kendall Vela, folks. I just feel like there's some areas that can be strengthened, and I would love to see global distribution. So I wish Vela was in UK. See, I wish so too. I wish so too. When setting up how to get paid through D2D, do I have to have an LLC or other business name? That's going to be dependent on if you have any LLC or if you're going to work as a sole proprietor, meaning that are you going to be using like your own social security number and such. I recommend, and this is not legal advice, this is what I've done. I recommend that you either incorporate or you get an LLC of some sort because it does somewhat safeguard your personal assets and make sure that you're paying yourself like an employee. Again, not legal advice. Reach out to a business attorney to find out what's going to be best for you. And also reach out to Drafted Digital. Maybe they can give you some recommendations based on your situation. So. Paul Bogey's book, Heroin to Hero, is a really fun and funny memoir. It's an Outstanding Creator Awards winner. Nice. There we go. Good stuff. My YouTube was left 5 minutes behind. Sorry, buddy. Oh, here we go. Leaf Lesson says, I just released my second book, Composting the Ego. Composting the Ego. Yeah, wow. Well, Angie, awesome. Very good. Morbid Guests will be in print next week. Paranormal and Haunts from Out of Korea. There we go. Good to hear that, Nelly. Alrighty, folks. Look, I am exhausted. We've been going for nearly an hour, and just as a big summary, this is great news. And I just want to say real quick now, if you are a person that is beholden to KDP Select and you are 100% happy there, that's fine. But I might encourage you. I want you to evaluate what type of success are you getting from being exclusive to Amazon's platform for your ebook? Are you seeing a significant amount of money that's going to make it worthwhile for staying exclusive? Or would you consider other avenues, potentially just for a short-term fix? You can always just go in, and if you find it doesn't work out for you after 90 days, you can always just pull out. And you don't have to stay for 90 days, but I always think it's a good idea to go apples to oranges, apples to apples, oranges to oranges on this one. You want to make sure KDP has enough time to do, what does it look like for KDP Select, and see what Drafted Digital could potentially do for you. And then select that library distribution. I am really excited to hear more about the Palace project. In fact, I'll be installing the app myself and getting myself signed up with the local libraries and seeing if I can check some of your books out. If you happen to be putting it into Drafted Digital and distributing it to the Palace project, fantastic. Let me know how it goes. In the meantime, I want to say a big special thank you to the fine folks over at Drafted Digital, also Publishers Weekly, as well as DPLA for the advanced information. Definitely appreciate all of you guys tuning in as well. And if you want to see an interview with a couple of the fine folks over at Drafted Digital, make sure you let me know inside the comments. Got any questions? Drop them in the comments. Till later, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I really do truly appreciate it. And by the way, thank you for 80,000 subscribers over on YouTube as well. I wouldn't have done it without you. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.